The Knicks postgame show is presented by Tri-State Audi. Visit your Tri-State area Audi dealer today. The Knicks do it again. Mikal Bridges does it again. 22 points, 11 of 15 shooting. Jalen Brunson goes for 30, 12 in the third quarter. A lot of Knicks fans in Cleveland. Yes, yes, yes. Knicks are one win away from making the conference, the NBA Finals. That's the scene across the street at the watch party. The Knicks win it convincingly over the Cavs. From our Delta Embassy studios, Bill Pidto along with Alan Hahn, Steve Novak, and Wally Szczerbiak. We're here to cover the whole thing for you as the Knicks are one win away from making the NBA Finals. And Landry Shamet, another huge game, off the bench, hitting 3 key threes in the fourth quarter. Now joins us from Cleveland. Alan, take it away.
Well, Landry, first and foremost, congratulations on the win. Second of all, the mindset of this team going into that second half when you had a lead but knowing you were playing a desperate team, what was it?
Oh, man, it's a really, really good team. And, at Game 3, down 2-0, we have a veteran group that kind of knows what that feels like being down 2-0. So you knew they were going to give us their best punch, and they did that. Really good team, but we got one more to put them away, and we know that's going to be even harder. So the mentality stays the same. We got to, just do what we got to do to get a win.
Landry, Steve Novak here. Mike Breen just said that this Knicks team is a playoff juggernaut. This Knicks team has now won 10 games in a row in the playoffs. What flipped? What switch went off? What got into this team to be able to run off 10 straight playoff games and be up 3-0 on this Cleveland team right now?
I don't know, man. We got the mentality as a group, though, knowing that, okay, we won this one. It's going to feel good. Obviously, it feels good getting a win on the road, but the mentality is right back to the next one. We got one more to get it done and put them away, and that's our mentality, one game at a time. Don't get too far ahead. Don't spend too much time loathing or thinking about the past. It's on to the next one, and that's what we're going to do.
And lastly, for you, Landry, you've really embraced playing in New York, and the role that you're playing, starter minutes, whether it's coming off the bench, you're just playing some of your best basketball. How special is it to be on this ride with this New York Knicks squad?
Yeah, man, New York's the best city in the world. I proudly claim New York, call myself a New Yorker. It means a lot to me. It's special, and I'm definitely not taking any of it for granted. It's really special playing for this organization with these fans, this team, my teammates. It's amazing. It's a wild ride, and we got to go get one more.
Landry, thank you so much for stopping by. Congrats on another major contribution to a Knicks win. Good luck on Monday, okay?
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, tonight's thrilling moment brought to you by FanDuel Casino. Get your thrill on. And Steve, Landry Shamet, 14 points in the game, hit 3 of his 4 threes in the fourth quarter.
You've got to have guys step up and have big performances if you're going to make a run into the Eastern Conference Finals, into the finals. He was that guy in Game 1. 3 big threes, was a plus 25 in those minutes. Again tonight, getting hot, shooting the 3-ball, shooting it from the perimeter, the spacing that you create for your stars. And it ends up being, when they pointed out on the broadcast, Tim Legler said all 5 starters for this Knicks team are playing really well. They're all at the top of their game. And I think that we've seen that. When you run off 10 straight games in the playoffs, I think you do have to have a lot of guys playing well. And Landry's been one of those guys, even though he's not a starter.
No, I agree. He's just embraced whatever role he's been asked to do. He can be the 9th man off the bench. He can be the 6th man off the bench. He could start. It doesn't matter. He just comes out, plays with real intensity on the defensive end of the floor. That's where you see his quickness, his effort. He fights over those screens like nobody else on the team. And then offensively, 3 threes in the fourth quarter. I mean, these aren't just like, oh, you get in the game. These are key baskets that are breaking the absolute back of Kenny Atkinson and the Cavaliers. Kenny's got to be thinking to himself, where's Sam Merrill doing this? Where's Max Strus doing this? I got Landry Shamet coming off their bench. He's out playing my guys off my bench. I got no chance against this starting 5 that's playing at such a high level. Just a phenomenal effort, top to bottom, by this team, the way they continue to answer the bell.
2 of the 3 games that Landry Shamet in the second half has made back-breaking threes, big-time clutch threes for the Knicks when it was time to put the game away.
Shamet Game 1, Hart Game 2, Shamet Game 3. Again, I don't know if it's fatigue or whatever it is, guys. You guys are the former players. That was a big theme coming into the series. Knicks only up 6 at the half. blew it wide open in the second half for the third straight game, Steve.
I really do think it just shows who this team is, what they're about, the focus level that they have. Look at the crispness of the passes. You're talking about coming out of halftime. You know usually there is the coach's message, whatever it was. Sometimes he's yelling at guys. Other times he's putting in adjustments and making schemes. It feels to me when this Knicks team has come out of the locker room in the second half, they've all held themselves accountable. They've all been sharp. They've all been willing to play whatever role has been asked of them, and it's been different in different games. But for them to come out as sharp as it did in these second halves, it has been backbreakers, and it has made the difference in all three games.
And, Bill, I don't think it's fatigue in the in Cleveland's case today. They were at home. I just think it was excellent execution on both ends of the floor by the Knicks. Their connectivity on the defensive end of the floor, they are in the right spots, help position. Every single guy is forming a shell like Mike Brown talks about. And then offensively, they go a fourth quarter where they go 5-6 in a row.
Yeah.
And Cleveland's looking around like, who's this guy making shots? Who's that guy making shots? Hart, Shamet, not Brunson. Who cares? Everyone's shooting at a high percentage.
Alan, look at the shooting for the Cavs from three and also from the line.
It's the three-point shooting and the free throw shooting. Steve and I talked about it in the pregame show. That has been for them a major issue. They struggled early in this game. You're thinking at home at free throws, you should be knocking them down, and they weren't, leaving money on the table.
Yeah.
But the 17-4 transition points.
Oh, yeah.
Cavaliers came into this series as the worst transition defense team in the playoffs. The Knicks are playing such smart basketball that that's exactly what they're looking at, is where are their weaknesses, we're going to exploit it. Off made baskets, they were getting transition points. That never happens, but it does against a team that does not match up well in transition. And the Knicks were smart enough to counter. The crowd never had a chance.
And they're cross-matching. They got like centers guarding Josh Hart.
Yeah.
They got guards guarding this guy. Like they're all out of whack getting back in transition. Mike Brown talks about it all the time. So Knicks, to your point, Alan, they're doing a great job exploiting it.
Yeah. And guys, how about Mikal Bridges? 11 out of 15 tonight.
Efficient.
Take a look at tonight's New York State Lottery power player. In this series now, 3 games, guys, Bridges is shooting, Steve, 27 of 38.
He flipped the
27 of
switch.
38.
Can you do the math on that? What's the percentage?
What's that live percentage on air? We're not doing math right now. We just know the math we know is it's 3-0. And it has a lot to do with Mikal Bridges, because when you have a Jalen Brunson who can give you 38 points, who can lead a 44-11 comeback, a guy who can make big shots when the defense is created to stop Jalen Brunson, to disrupt Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah.
And he can be a guy shooting at whatever percentage
71.
71.
We punched it into the calculator.
71.
It's just too dangerous, and he's had himself a heck of a series.
And he's just feasting off the holes in the Cavs defense.
Right.
He's getting a lot in transition, to your point, Alan. Easy baskets, easy layups. Look at these numbers. And some of his shots are tough little mid-range floaters, which he's so good at shooting. And he's up there with some of the big men and James Worthy dunking on the break with the superstar Lakers.
The question, though, guys, is where was this for such a large portion of the regular
Who cares?
season? I'm just asking.
Who cares?
No, but that's the narrative, all right? It's been an amazing turnaround.
No.
Was he not cutting before? Were they not finding
Bill's
him?
making a point, though. It is, and I think it's what Novi's talking about. It's
Who cares, by the way? Who's saying...
Easy.
Yeah. When
Don't
You
get
should have
wild
heard him
up.
during the regular season.
It's a good thing I'm sitting here.
Go ahead.
But what you're
I'll
talking,
tell you why.
But what you're talking about is when it starts to come together. It's 5 players, 5 starters who just now, like through all they've been through, is starting to figure it out. And it's something, I remember Mike Brown saying this back in training camp, that this is going to be an adjustment. We're going to adjust to things.
Yeah.
And by the end of the season is when you want that rhythm to be there, where I know you're going to cut. I know. And it's going to look bad at times, but once everybody figures it out, it looks like beautiful music. This offense that we're watching right now, I have the utmost confidence in saying this on air. This is the best Knick offense we have seen since 1973.
Yes, it's a team. Like the
That
team was
great
back then.
73 team was one of the
They moved the
smartest
ball.
teams you've ever seen, and a great offense. And we have not seen a Knick offense like that since that great 73 championship team.
I think there is a compounding. There is a compounding that happens in team sports. And it's Mikal Bridges is this good. OG is that good. Jalen is that good. But when you've got a guy like Jalen Brunson who can get buckets the way he got buckets at the end of game 1 and lead your team like that, and then in game 2 follow it up and be Mr. Assist, he raises the level of everybody else, because the defense still has to be built around stopping Jalen Brunson, but his willingness to take what the defense gives, I think it allows for Mikal's ceiling to be recognized and OG's ceiling to be recognized and Mitchell Robinson. And so I just think when you are the captain and you're the star, you deserve a lot of credit because you got a lot of responsibility. And I think Jalen Brunson has a lot to do with Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby and all the other guys that are really flourishing right now.
But this starting five, again, guys, each of the starters in double figures. By the way, OG Anunoby, 21 points.
Yeah, 7 rebounds.
Quiet 21.
Right.
Quiet.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Just getting started here, guys. Knicks 1-1 away from their first NBA Finals appearance since 1999. Fans leaving MSG. It was rocking across the street at the watch party. They are loving that. Knicks now up 3-0 in the Cavs as they win tonight in Cleveland, 121-108. That's the scene across the street. Fans filing out of the watch party. And let's check in with Alex Monaco.
Thanks, Bill. Here with Kurt Thomas. Kurt, you were known during your playing days for defense and toughness, both on display tonight. What impressed you about those aspects?
They did whatever it takes. They would have dive on the floor, take charges, block shots, whatever it takes to get that win. That's what they showed tonight.
Very special energy in here at the watch party, Kurt. Your favorite part about being a part of it?
Just being out here with the fans. The fans just showing the love, showing how much they love the Knicks, and they're just doing whatever they can to help us get a win. That's what it's about.
10-game playoff win streak. We know it's at stake. Take me into the locker room and the mindset of the boys. One game from the NBA Finals.
We're right there. We're up 3-0. Finish the job. Finish the job. That's the mindset right now.
Kurt Thomas said it. Finish the job. Back to you, Bill.
Knicks have a chance. Game 4 Monday night in Cleveland. Guys, Karl-Anthony Towns in Game 2 only had 1 assist, but tonight, Wally, back to doing a great job facilitating, had 7 assists. Time for tonight's Lime Drop, Dime Drop, presented by Corona. Cat with 7 assists, some beauties.
Yeah, and the defense and rebounding, just anchoring the D, not hunting shots, not being selfish, even though he's a 6-7-time All-Star, whatever it is. Look at these dimes.
How about the cutting off of that, though, right?
Well, he has such good ESP with Bridges and Anunoby that he can really facilitate pass. And to answer your question, what changed with Bridges, I think when the offense flipped and it became more Cat with the ball, more Josh Hart with the ball, not as much Jalen Brunson just handling the ball most of the game, that's when Bridges' game just exploded because Bridges can really cut. He's really smart at finishing those little floaters 5-10 feet from the basket. And as a result, like, these guys are just playing for each other and making each other better. But that's where I think Bridges' game was unlocked, when he was able to really be exploited with his cutting.
And one thing about Towns to talk about, along with, of course, the 13, the 8, 7 assists. How about the fact that he had 3 steals and a block? I mean, his defense is not talked about nearly enough. And I think defensively, the subtle things he's doing defensively stands out. That's a big front line. And they get a lot of layups. They get a lot of drives and kicks and stuff. He has to be involved defensively. And there were a couple of times where it looked like they were in the paint. He just got a little hand in there, got a deflection. 3 steals and a block for him. That's a huge addition to what he also brings to the game offensively.
You know it is, and I just think also the skill set is sometimes more important than the actual production. If you know you have Cat on the perimeter and you're pulling a Jared Allen, a Mobley, and you're creating that space, he doesn't have to make the shots to have created the space on the interior. You talked about the cutting, and the guys are inspired to cut when Cat has the ball because he's shown a willingness to pass, a willingness to be the facilitator up top, and so he doesn't have to make shots to essentially be at a huge advantage and create that spacing. And so I think you're seeing the 5-man who can shoot it. You have to have that to be a great team in this league.
So much.
Ton of spacing.
Yeah.
All right, guys, Monica McNutt helped call the game on the radio on ESPN New York. She now joins us from Cleveland. What's up, Monica? What are you thinking about?
What is up, y'all? This is just so much fun. I'm very giddy. Novak, to Novak's point that he was just making, we were talking about the same thing with Dan Grassa, Tyler, and I on the radio because we highlighted OG Anunoby coming back tonight, 6 of 10 from the field and 21 points, and I think that's exactly right. Even when you look at what Mikal Bridges has done, the way that the ball is moving, right, the level of focus that the guys are playing with, and let's be honest, as hoopers, you see the ball go in one time and you're going to get it back. You're feeling good, and so I'm just so impressed with the 27 assists from this group. Again, not quite a less than 100 performance, but keeping a team under 110 in this game, obviously under 100 in Game 3. Like, y'all, the word on the interwebs with all the kids right now is flow state. As a collective, the team is in their flow state.
I like that. That's a word I'm going to have to write down and say to my kids and see if I sound cool. I won't, but I'm going to try it anyway, Mon. I want to know, though, speaking of sound, because there was so much talk about, the Knicks fans traveling so well. You're in the arena. There was a lot of pregame chatter about Knicks fans infiltrating even as far as Cleveland. We heard it late in the game now. We did hear the Knicks fans, but what was the atmosphere like in that building? Because the Cavs sounded like they were very concerned about it before the game.
Well, it was not quite like a regular season game in some of the places that we call MSG South, but I will say in that third quarter in particular, there were some MVP chants. We heard a Knicks in 4 chant at one point. Now, the entertainment staff here at Rocket Arena is very clever. As soon as the Knicks fans got going, they put something on that would get their fans going, so it was a little bit of a duel, but definitely audible MVP chants, audible Knicks in 4 chants, and I even think we heard a Let's Go Knicks chant down the stretch as the Cavs fans were starting to leave the building.
Well, and Monica, as this game wrapped up, we kind of had a look outside of MSG. There were thousands of people pouring out from the watch party, and you just saw the energy that was here. But it seemed like we did an interview with the walk-off with Landry Shamet, and he seemed to still be very calm. At the end of the game, there wasn't a lot of jumping around or high-fiving. There still seems to be this calm in the eye of all the guys on the Knicks. All the fans, and all of us included, I think, are having an incredible time watching this team. But what is your sense just being close to the team, traveling with them, with their demeanor right now?
Our captain, Novi, is a guy who derives from the Kobe tree, right? Jalen Brunson wears Kobe Bryant's shoes. He's got his shoes at a young age. And in the famous words of the Mamba, the job's not done yet. And I think that's how this team is approaching it. I also would add, that Mike Brown, as experienced, as one of those head coaches on the team that has rattled off a double-digit consecutive win streak in the postseason, he has done an excellent job of warding off complacency or enthusiasm to the degree that you think that you have arrived. And I think this team, when you're hearing these guys post-game say, we got to play with urgency, we got to play like they're desperate, that they must be meditating on that, putting it in their sound machines when they take naps, because they really are coming out with the level of desperation that I think is so very impressive in terms of matching the moment.
Monica, Mikal Bridges is shooting 71% in this series, playing incredible basketball. What do you think the difference is from, earlier on in the playoffs and the regular season?
Wally, you tell me, bro, because what? Like, this young man, listen, I will say this. I think it goes back to how we started. If I can settle down, because everybody's being focused, I need to stay focused too. I think he's a guy that has been able to perform on the biggest stage of the season. And we know that confidence begets more confidence, right? And so each series now, he has shown up and continues to show up, and his teammates are looking for him. I think the wrinkles in the offense that we saw versus Atlanta and Philly unlocked him, because he's much better off the move than he is off the standstill in my mind. And now that these guys are casually putting up 27 assist games and everybody's sort of on the move, I thought tonight he had a few moves where he just kept his dribble alive and they hit him with a step back. I'm like, wait, who is that? But I'll take it. I love it. I just think these guys really, I don't know how to articulate it, y'all, other than them being in a flow state. And we hear about this when we watch The Last Dance or insert documentary on your favorite sports team. This is sort of what happens. They have put in the work to lay the foundation, and then ultimately you're able to perform based on that foundation.
May you maintain your flow state for the next couple of games, couple of days in Cleveland prior to Game 4 on Monday, okay? Get the meditation and the AirPods and let it roll, all right?
All that. Sounds good.
All right, fans enjoyed themselves across the street inside MSG. Look at the T-shirt. All good things happening. Knicks win at 121-108. One more win and they make the NBA Finals. Knicks beat the Cavs, a watch party inside MSG, and the fans don't want to leave. So the Knicks are up 3-0. Over now to the Wally Wall with Steve and Wally, guys.
What do you got, Steve? Let's roll.
Let's roll, baby. We're talking about our guy, Jalen Brunson, the plays that he was making. And I just think the beauty of allowing the plays to develop and finding the shooters and really keeping the spacing. And so it's so beautiful just to see. It's just beautiful to see the way that this team has continued to play with one another. But I know you want to look at a play here real quick.
Yes, and we're going to take a look at how Mikal Bridges is getting so wide open and shooting 71% in this series. It's because he's finding the cracks in the defense. Defense isn't set. They're all mismatched here. This is a great job. Freeze it here. Now look at Mikal Bridges here under the basket. And Karl Anthony Towns, with his vision, he sees through the defense. There's 3 guys around here. They're not communicating. They're all watching the ball. They're not seeing Bridges. He's finding the crack in the defense. And Towns is not afraid to throw some risky passes. This is a little bit of a risky pass. Nobody's paying attention, and he's getting layups. I mean, this is just easy basketball. His percentage is 71% because he got 5 layups in this game, a couple of them on the break and a couple of them off cuts off Karl Anthony Towns. He is just doing an outstanding job of moving without the basketball.
You know, and moving without the basketball and allowing the plays to develop, it really has been such a key. And when you've got a captain like Jalen Brunson on this play right here, keep an eye on that guy right there, Landry Fields. I'm sorry, Landry Shamet. That was my other teammate, Landry Fields. But as the play develops, and you're going to see Jalen right here cutting, driving to the left, keeping an eye right here on Landry Shamet. Watch the spacing as the play develops, and watch the pass that the captain makes. What a beautiful play right here to just draw 2, keep the spacing, and look at the 2 cutters. You got Mikal Bridges cutting down the middle. You got Cat making the action down the middle, and a beautiful pass to Shamet, who had another beautiful game, knocking down 3s, spacing the floor. And Jalen Brunson's willingness to share the ball, to be an assist guy at the same time as he is to be a threat to score, I think it was just huge in this series so far. Obviously, there's still one more to go, but the ball movement, the willingness to find guys and elevate the guys around him has been his greatest trait in this series.
No question.
And Bill, back to you.
All right, Steve, here's a play that kind of personifies what we were talking about after we show you the longest playoff win streaks in the same playoffs in franchise history. Knicks, obviously, 10 in a row. Their longest winning streak during this regular season, 8 in a row. They've now won 10 in a row in the playoffs. And here's the ball movement with Cat doing a great job. He's going to find Karl Anthony Towns. Well, we'll talk about that later. Meantime, here's Mike Brown, his post-game comments presented by Chase.
You know, our guys played a good game. Chris Gent challenged our guys to start the game right, especially with the execution of the first play. And our guys did it. Our guys, they were locked in from the beginning of the game, and it showed through that first offensive play, through the first few minutes of the game. We got a lot of great contributions from our guys. You know, Josh was the connector that he was. 9 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 steals. OG was fantastic. He hit some timely buckets for us. Play after play after play after play. He had 21. He was really, really good. 7 rebounds, and you know he did a pretty good job of trying to keep Allen off the glass. That's who he matched up with. Cat, I mean, he was our hub offensively. 7 assists, 0 turnovers. He was really good for us offensively and defensively. You know, the 3 steals, but his ability to fire back in the pick and roll situation was really good. Mikal, I mean, man, he just got to his spots. Mikal got to his spots all night. He hit big shot after big shot. And on top of that, he had 6 rebounds, and then trying to defend James, Hall of Famer, without fouling him. This really good ball game from Mikal. Jalen, he's MVP. He's an MVP candidate. He's supposed to do what he did tonight. He's got to go score it, or he's got to command a double team and make the game easier for everybody else. Our bench, everybody that came on the floor, they played great minutes for us, but I got to take my hat off to Landry. You know, we put him on the floor in Josh's spot. They're paying a lot of attention to Jalen. Somebody's going to be open if the floor is spaced, and we're getting off the ball in a timely manner. And literally, because of the way they're playing D, we're just playing conceptually. We're really trying to play fast, trying to space the floor the right way, trying to touch the paint, trying to make quick decisions with the basketball. So our guys are just doing a great job playing out of our concepts, especially when they're blitzing, soft blitzing, kind of zoning up, and doing different things defensively. But Landry was huge. And then, you know, on the other end of the floor, he's got to match up with a guy like Donovan Mitchell, which is a tough cover for anybody. And you're not going to stop him, but you got to work your tail off. And Landry's trying to work. You know, two things happened in the second half. I thought throughout the whole game, I thought we did a good job of trying to play fast. We want to play fast against these guys at every opportunity we can get. We don't want to go against their set defense all the time, so we got to keep trying to play fast. And then our guys did a better job in the second half of trying to defend without fouling. They tried to show their hands and lead with their chests, and we got to continue to do that in Game 4.
Mike, with Mikal, he has been so good getting out on the break for you guys consistently, but he's also so present defensively. That's kind of a tough balance to weigh for a lot of players. What's allowing him to be able to get those leak outs, get so many fast break points while also staying so present on the defensive end?
His feel is unbelievable. You know, he's just got a good feel. He's doing that on his own. He's picking and choosing when to go, just like he's picking and choosing when to look for his shot when we call his number. We need him to continue to do that. You know, I told him and OG, because I don't call a ton of play calls, you guys got to find different ways to impose your will on the game. And they're both doing a phenomenal job of imposing their will on the game.
Mike, if I'm correct, that's 10 in a row now for you guys in the playoffs, and of those 10, only one has been a single-digit win. You've won all these by 10, 20, 30. There's a 50-point win in there. When you look at the path that you guys have had, do you feel like did you expect it to be, I don't want to characterize it as easy because I know it's not easy, but does it feel like it's kind of been, you know, a little bit on the easier end?
No, not at all. This is hard. We're playing good teams. I said this before. We're playing a team right now that has 4 NBA All-Stars and 2 of the best shooters in the league on top of those 4 NBA All-Stars, and they have a fantastic coach in Kenny Atkinson. There's nothing easy about this. I got to give our guys credit, though. Our guys are trying to stay locked in and focus on the details, and I got to give my staff credit. My staff has been fantastic. Chris Gent, Rick Brunson, Brendan O'Connor, Darren Erman, TJ Saint, Ricky Foy, all those guys. They've been freaking awesome. And, you know, we got to keep trying to stay locked in and see if we can get another win. It's just one game at a time, but there's nothing easy about this.
Now, he's amazing how he gives credit publicly to his assistant. Everybody. Never heard that before from a head coach in my time. He does it all the time. Fans filing out of MSG. Knicks beat the Cavs 121-108. The recent Thank You NYPD concert held at Madison Square Garden will become an annual celebration to recognize the New York City Police Department. A check for $500,000 was presented to the New York City Police Foundation to innovate and enhance the quality of NYPD services, build bridges with the community, and make our city a safer place to live, work, and visit. To learn more about the Thank You NYPD initiative launched by MSG Entertainment, visit msg.com/NYPD.
7 seconds left. Knicks by 7. Brunson across midcourt with 3. Crossover with 2. Foul line floater with 1. No, an alley-oop to Robinson, and he stuffs it with .1 remaining to put the Knicks in front by 9, heading to the fourth quarter.
What a play by Mitchell Robinson.
Tyler Murray, Monica McNutt on ESPN New York. Meantime, energizing plays presented by C4 Energy. Whole lot of energy, guys, from start to finish here. How about that Euro from Cat?
Yeah, Cat with the Euro step there. But transition was everything, boys, right? This game was transition. Hey, when you turn
like Novak trying to dunk.
Yeah, that's all right. Look at this pass. This is all transition buckets by the Knicks. Some of them off makes.
You know, another part of it, I think, is when you're scoring at this high rate and you're pushing the pace. And, Alan, this is one thing you've talked about, is next play mentality. No matter what the situation, you continue to push the pace, you continue to get downhill, and you continue to score the ball. And it's amazing how you have the #1 rated defense in the playoffs right now. And I think in large part because of the offense, because of pushing the pace, because of scoring, because of getting all the way to the rack, flattening the defense out, and then guess what? It's a lot easier to get back on D. And so I feel like it's such a connection between scoring the ball, getting downhill, and playing some darn good defense.
It sucks the energy out of the crowd before they have a chance to even cheer. You know, that's the biggest difference with getting those transition buckets off of makes.
All right, and we've talked about the transition situations here for the Knicks. 17-4 was the Knicks' edge in fast break points, and what is especially demoralizing, and we've touched on it, Wally, a lot of these fast break points came off of Cleveland makes.
Yeah, and a lot of them also came off of turnovers. Cleveland throws the ball all over the gym. So the Knicks, when they get those loose balls,
look off turnovers.
There you go. Yeah. Look at the way they look to turn those points off turnovers into easy baskets in transition. They have the freedom to shoot quick and often as much as they want. Look at Jalen Brunson firing the ball up the floor. I mean, Mike Brown constantly implores his guys, get the ball up the floor, get the ball up the floor, put the pressure on.
But they don't always do it like this, Wally.
No, they don't. And this Cavalier team, they don't know what hit them. And to give up that many transition points and get dominated in that energy area on your home floor, that's a little bit of a surprise. Right. Normally at home, that's when you're high flying. That's when you're sprinting up and down the floor. That's when it's easier to get back on defense because, you know, you have that energy and that fight with the crowd behind you. I mean, these type of plays are just too easy. And when you're down 2-1-0 in a series, you can't be giving the Knicks easy baskets in transition if you want to get back in this series. And that's one of the reasons why the Knicks won a game that the Cavs really needed.
All right, I got a note here. It's amazing. The Knicks plus 225-point differential, the best by any team over a 10-game span in the NBA history. Regular season or playoffs. Any 10-game stretch. Plus 225. It's amazing.
It's awesome.
We got to step back and just, I mean.
It's why I said it. I'll say it again. This is the best Knick offense we have seen since the 1973 championship team that had 7 Hall of Famers on it. That was one of the great unselfish ball movement passing teams you'll ever see in the history of the sport. And the Knicks offense it's resembling that. Clyde himself said that when he was talking about what he sees with this offense, and he said it a couple of games ago. Can only imagine what he's saying now.
Mm-hmm. So the question for Kenny Atkinson is, what do you have?
I thought their physicality really got us, you know, they turned us over, you know, early. They were into the ball, very handsy. You know, the whole grab and hold thing, which you know is part of it, and we struggled to play through that physicality tonight.
Why do you think that you guys in this series, and especially tonight, have struggled from the perimeter shooting the basket?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking. I'm sure our shot quality was good again, just not going down, and you know, you got to run back, keep running back on defense. It puts a lot of pressure on your defense, especially a really good offensive team like that.
Yeah, I think Fred was telling me before the game, like, your expected shooting percentage is like 8. Yeah. Going into tonight was like 8 points lower than what it should be. So, I mean, that speaks to what you've been saying.
I think we've won the expected all 3 games.
Yeah.
So it's just, you know, but there's expected and real. This is where we always get into that conversation, Joe. So, you know, but they took, you know, they were the more physical team tonight. I think their physicality and energy, and we just couldn't get to that level to combat it. I think the turnovers hurt us, Joe, and I think, you know, Shamet getting loose there. You know, they had a role player step up on the road. You know, but you know, there was no, whatever the stats say tonight, they were the much better team.
And obviously, you're not in a position yet to be, or wanting to congratulate them, but they, do you feel like they're really shown to be a very, very good team?
Yeah, they're playing great basketball. I mean, nine playoff wins in a row. I mean, that's, I don't know, that's really hard to do. They're on a hell of a run. You know, we haven't been able to stop the momentum. You know, we had one chance in that first game, I thought, to stop it, but they, you know, haven't been able to halt their momentum.
Winning streak is 10. Karl-Anthony Towns and the Knicks 1 win away from making the NBA Finals. We're talking Knicks defense after this. Welcome back, everyone. And this reminder, stream Knicks pre- and post-game coverage during the playoffs, plus hours of on-demand content. Anywhere you go, download the Gotham Sports App. It's free with your MSG TV subscription. Sign in and start streaming today. Alan, winning streak now 10 in a row. Knicks have given up an average of 99 points per game, even though they gave up 108 in this one. Big plays presented by Four Leaf Credit Union. The defense has been phenomenal. 11 steals in this game, 4 blocks as well. Karl-Anthony Towns, we mentioned him earlier, 3 steals and a block, and the deflections that lead to, and that's all the transition stuff we talked about when it comes to forcing the turnovers and just getting out and running. The Knicks defense is almost as locked in when it comes to 5 men as their offense is. This is nirvana right now, fellas.
It's perfect help defense. Everyone's in the right position to be in a spot to not have to gamble and still be getting all these deflections and blocks. And that's what Mike Brown really preaches to his guys. Gambling is going to lead to more points than it's going to lead points on the offensive end for you. But if you play good, solid team shell defense and you're in the right help positions, Cleveland's going to throw the ball all over the place. And that's when you're going to get your steals and you're going to be able to go to the other end of the floor. So this team is just so connected on that end.
Steve, 10 steals, is that the result of not gambling? I mean, don't you have to gamble at some point to get 10 steals?
At times you do, and I think you like that as a coach. Sometimes you want your guys to be solid. At other times you say take those chances and go for it. I just think there's such a connectivity that guys are picking their spots at the right times. They know when to do it. And there's also a desperation, it seems like, that's being played with on the defensive end. That desperation is leading to on-ball deflections that a lot of times is then someone else getting the steal. And it's the extra efforts. It's the effort to go get that deflection and then guys rotating quick and making those steals. And I do think against, right now in this playoffs, this is the #1 rated defensive team. The Knicks are playing outstanding with connectivity, and the steals really do tell the story.
Of the 10 steals, Hart had 4 of them. Here's Josh Hart now after the game.
I think we came out with energy, and we knew we had to, especially, obviously, their first home game in this series. Their back is against the wall. You know, the fans ought to be, making noise and cheering and supporting. So we came out aggressive and set a tone from the jump, and we just, continue to play at that pace.
Josh, 10 straight wins. Is it a little surreal to you guys at this point to see the run you've been able to be on this postseason?
Nah, I mean, we don't think about it, that way. Today we won. We were 1-0 today. Monday we're 0-0. We're far from our goal. This series isn't over. That's a good team with a lot of playoff experience. Who, one game their backs against the wall. So we don't got time to think of the past. We got all we're focusing on is right now.
Josh, can you talk about how it seems like everybody that gets in the game is in a rhythm?
I just think everyone is playing the right way with the right mentality, and we have really good players. We got guys that can shoot, guys that can defend, guys can play, make tough shots, those kind of things. So when we play our style of basketball, everybody eats, and that's what we're just trying to do. So not surprised at all because we have really good players.
Speaking of eating, what do you think about Landry in the fourth quarter?
Oh man, he's that's my dog. Big shots. He's amazing defense. He's a heck of a player. We need him down the stretch to continue to do what he's doing, but he's in a great rhythm right now, and we want to make sure he has all the opportunity, that he can.
Hart talking about Jalen Brunson, and we will too after a break. Brunson tonight with 30. We're opening up the corner 3, the bar after this.
Brunson picked up by Mitchell, dribbling toward the top of the arc, then Shamet on a cut behind the free throw line. Pass it to him now, left wing. Off the dribble, 3 over Harden. Shamet hits again. Landry Shamet cannot miss.
Okay, Landry Shamet, don't worry about it. I got closing duties on lock. What a shot.
As Monica says on the radio and with us, the flow state.
We're learning things.
Landry Shamet, 14 points, had 4 threes in the game, 3 in the fourth quarter. Back now from the corner 3, presented by Michelob Ultra Superior Light Beer. Such is the level of the Knicks' balance and all of the different storylines that we haven't even talked about Jalen Brunson.
What'd he do?
And Jalen Brunson had 30 points.
Oh, that's right.
Another 30-point playoff game. Okay.
Like ho-hum,
Makes
right?
it look easy.
It's just what he does.
Yeah.
Literally what he does. He also got to the free throw line in this game, which was a good sign, and hit 10 of 12 when he got to the line. But it really was within the flow, right? Speaking of flow state, fellas, it really was. This offense wasn't much ISO. It was flow state.
It was, and it was, I mean, how tough was some of the shot making that he had? Sometimes it was bigs on him, like Jared Allen getting a hand in his face. Other times it was Evan Mobley, and it just seemed like even on those possessions with Schroeder, you would think he was a Brunson stopper if you listen to what he said, and there was nothing anyone could do. And like you guys said, we're joking, but another 30-point performance when it matters in a huge game.
Look at how quick he looks, too.
Yeah.
I mean, he's flying around the court, blowing by guys. He's as fresh as I've seen him. You know, just he looks inspired by this offense. He really looks like he's having fun playing it. I mean, he cuts so hard, flying up and down the floor, pushing the ball up the floor like Mike Brown wants him to. And he just continues to just, you know, amaze us with his playoff performances. Not easy to do this against a team every single game that knows exactly what you want to do, and they're trying to game plan against you and stop you. Unbelievable performance, again, by the captain.
You know, you talk about the flow of this offense. I don't remember Brunson getting so many shots from that baseline like that. That seems like a different
Totally
location.
different.
No, he doesn't ever get shots from there, right?
No.
And he's wide open from there.
Yeah, and it's, again, it's where the ball
And
begins.
the spacing is the key to this offense. Mike
course.
Brown always talks about spacing. We harp on the guys a lot. Make sure you keep the floor spaced, and that's where Brunson benefits so much, because when he has a little bit of room to get a guy on an island and make his little moves, then he can score whenever he wants, as long as he doesn't have help where he wants to go. And the spacing in this offense is just so fun to watch.
And the passing, I think, you know, he had 6 assists in this game. Obviously, coming off a game where he had 14 assists, but I think what he's shown you is the ability to pass, but not just like make a simple pass. Like we had that baseline pass, one hand.
Yeah.
Like he's shown you the ability to be an elite passer, and his players, like you're talking about, Wally, teammates are finding, all right, where's the lane? Let me get open in the lane in his sight line. So when a double team comes, he sees him, like he found Josh Hart in game 2 a couple of times. Yeah. Once that starts happening, what's defense are going to do? Yeah. Kenny Atkinson said it after game 2. And it's something that Quinn Snyder said in the Atlanta series, is literally pick your poison. You either got to trap this guy, double him, which leaves you open for someone else, or you play him one-on-one, and he's going to kill you that way.
Yeah.
OG Anunoby, best scoring game of the series with 21, 3 of 4 from downtown. We'll get his post-game comments and also hear from Kat when we continue after this. Game 4 Monday in Cleveland. If the Knicks win, they go to the NBA Finals for the first time since 1999. After the game, though, Kat knows still some work to do.
Just keep your mind on the task at hand. You know, it's game's over. We found a way to win tonight, but we got to have the same desperation like it's 0-0. It's game 1. You know, we got to go out there. We got to execute at a high level, and we got to be disciplined in our game plan.
G, congrats on the win tonight.
Thank you.
Commanding 3-0 lead, 1 game away from making the finals. Last time you were not available to play for Toronto, and this time you're back from injuries. So what's your mindset going into game 4? Same team, same location. How do you guys extend the momentum?
Like Kat said, you know, just come out with desperation. Like it's still 0-0. Come out, just tonight's over, focus on the next game, and try to win the game.
He's always good at being able to identify when to leak out in transition and also when to stay back on defense. That's something you're good at too. He's been especially dominant in that way during this series, like just knowing when to go in transition and when to stay back on Harden. What is the art of that? What makes somebody able to make that read? Where are you looking? What are you doing in order to figure out how to time that?
Mm-hmm. Probably just the awareness of if we've gotten the rebound or if someone else has gotten the rebound, and then just the quick, like just his first 3 steps, he's just gone every time. He's amazing at that. He just runs out, and guys like Kat will just throw it and hit him in stride.
OG, do you feel like is this the best you've felt since, you know, the hamstring, and just kind of what's been like the process like where the third game and it's looked like the first game maybe you were kind of feeling your way a little bit?
Oh, just, I mean, each day I start feeling better and better, you know. We have a great medical staff. Just every day, just take it day by day, getting stronger each day. And then great team, great coaches. So it's been great. It's very collaborative.
A smiling cat. There you go. Knicks on the verge. One more win and they make the NBA Finals. Back with more after this. So we told you over the last 10 games, the Knicks' point differential is plus 225. If you count the whole playoff run of 13 games, the point differential is plus 234. The other teams on that list were all NBA champions, just so everyone is aware. Back with more here after this. Knicks win at 121-108. Knicks beat the Cavs 121-108. After Game 2, Donovan Mitchell said all the right things. Said, we're going back home. We're not concerned. Well, let's hear what he has to say after Game 3.
I mean, I'm from New York. This doesn't shock me. They do it in every arena. It's like Cowboys fans. They're just who they are. I don't think it's a Cleveland thing. It wasn't just us. You look at Philly. You look at that's how Knicks fans are. I was one back in the day, so like, you know what I mean? So that had nothing to do with what we got going. Cleveland's the best fans in the world. I stand on that, you know what I'm saying? So that doesn't affect that. That doesn't label who Cleveland is. I have nothing but love for the fans in Cleveland, and we didn't get it done for our home crowd tonight. And we didn't get it done, which enables the Knicks fans to go off like they did. If we get it done, then they're silent, right? So we didn't do our part. When we ran out, they were loud, and Cleveland fans were behind us, but we didn't do our part, and that's the result. Mm-hmm.
Donovan, why do you think that as a group, the shot making from beyond the arc has fallen off so much in the series for you guys?
Sometimes the ball just doesn't go in. We're getting good looks. Sometimes it just doesn't go in.
How much has that aspect of things affected who you guys, maybe more so tonight, were defensively?
I mean, yeah, you try your hardest not to let that happen, right? And then give them credit. They took those misses and got out in transition. Even off makes, they got out in transition. So it wasn't just like our half-court defense, right? They were getting out and putting us in different scenarios in transition. And when you miss shots, it gives them more of an opportunity. I mean, we shot 50% from the field, but from three, that's not necessarily as much. But when they get going in transition, and then me, Evan, James had 5 turnovers apiece, that doesn't help. They were active, and we weren't able to control that, especially their pace in transition.
You know, Mitchell, of course, area native, father works for the Mets. Almost became a Knick a couple of summers ago, and worst plus minus in the game, Steve, minus 22.
Yeah, and I wouldn't say it's all his fault. I do. You think he has so much responsibility. You see how much he's trying to do for this team. And I think then you look at who he's going against and the schemes defensively that are being put up against him. And that's why I think when we talk about Jalen Brunson, the job he's doing with the schemes to stop him and the inability of the Cavs' ability to stop Jalen Brunson, the job that the Knicks are doing on Donovan Mitchell, it really is impressive. 5 turnovers again tonight. Mm-hmm. And it's just very telling of how much chaos has been created by the connectivity and the desperation by the Knicks defense.
Cavs really have a point guard when you look at it?
James Harden.
You can manufacture a point guard nowadays. You know, they're looking to score, but same with Jalen Brunson. He's a point guard that's a scoring player. So the new NBA, everyone has to be a threat. You know, you can't just be like this prototypical setup type guy. I just think it's a credit to the Knicks defense. I mean, this team has elite perimeter defenders. These guys take the challenge one-on-one. They fight through screens. This is why this roster was assembled the way it was. And now you got a guy like Cat, too. He's buying in big time on the defensive end of the floor, playing the best defense I've ever seen him play his whole entire career. This team's tough to play against. I mean, the Cavs are running into an offensive and defensive juggernaut.
All right, more from the Nova Knicks coming up. Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, get their post-game thoughts. Bridges and Anunoby, Wingstop indeed. Each went for at least 20 points. Brunson had 30. Back with more after this.
Anunoby to the foul line. Right-hand dribble. Underneath. Pass to a wide-open Bridges. Easy layup. Towns rifles a pass to the bucket for Bridges, who catches high and finishes high. Mitchell tried to take advantage of the switch with a pass inside that's stolen. It leads to a breakout layup for Mikal Bridges, who banks it in right-handed.
Bridges is just, he's been so sound tonight, making the right plays, making the right reads, and being aggressive.
You don't look ahead.
Most importantly, you deal with what's in front of you. So we had the first possession at the first quarter, and then you have the first half, and then you go on and you go on. We just continue to just deal with what's in front of you, and just have your teammates back, make sure everyone's on the same page, making sure that everyone's holding each other accountable. That's just the most important thing right now.
Jalen, what did you think of OG tonight? Is this the best you think he's looked since the hamstring?
OG's playing great. Most importantly, he's locked in, and he's doing the things that we know that he's capable of, and he's been playing great. He's looking great. Yeah, man, he's doing what he does.
You guys are obviously here in Cleveland, so it's hard to feel what it must be like in New York, but you were there for a little while. Like, do you have a sense of sort of how people are feeling now in terms of where the Knicks are being so close, and how do you keep that in perspective?
I mean, they're probably excited, rightfully so, but we have a job to do, and we have things that we need to focus on. That's on them being them, but we have to be locked in and doing what we do.
Mikal, I'm all the way down here. It's a great angle. You've been so, it seems like, precise, deciding when you're going to leak out, when you're going to stay back. You seem to have a really good feel for that, and it's been super advantageous for you during this series. I'm curious what your process is in terms of leaking out, because you never seem to do it early or prematurely or anything. Like, what is your process in terms of making that read and trying to get to your spots in transition?
I just try to play hard every possession. That's pretty much it. And then, see one of my guys in transition have an advantage, and you try to split the floor and, try to get a layup or cause confusion and get, somebody else open shot. So just trying to play hard the whole game.
Bridges 11 of 15 from the floor. He's 27 for 38 so far in this series. Knicks beat the Cavs 121-108. Back to the podium for more of Jalen Brunson and Mikal Bridges.
Just keeping us locked in. I mean, I don't think we have to do any comparison or anything, but just him just staying locked in and coaching us, till the clock hits zero, no matter what the score is. Man, we need that.
I don't know if you guys can see me. I'm in front of you, Jalen. This is really uncomfortable looking up at y'all. But normally teams want to play their best basketball right around this time of year. And it seems like in every game this series, each of the starters and even the bench has sort of hit their moment. Is this kind of what you guys kind of envision, getting to this point where everybody sort of has their moment and it feels like you guys have had all the answers to the test that you guys have been presented with so far?
I think most importantly, we obviously had that next man up mentality. But we have a bunch of individuals in that locker room who work really hard. And they're very psychotic about their work and the things they do, and making sure that their minds that they're ready physically and mentally. So when their number's called and then when there's time to go out there, they're ready. And so we have a lot of real professionals on our roster. So no matter whose number's called, someone's going to step up, someone's going to be ready. That's just the nature of who we have here. And it's been a pleasure working with these guys. I mean, it's been unbelievable. It's just a testament to their character and their work ethic. Everyone.
Jalen, Minor Castillo desde la cancha. You miss a shot and you put on a poker face. You make a shot and you put a poker face. How do you control your emotions in these big games?
I've always tried to keep myself level-headed. You never want to see someone. You never want someone to see you when you're too high or too low. Just having that mentality that no matter what's going on, nothing's going to break you. And I think I've had that for a long time. That's a credit to my parents who raised me. Credit to Coach Wright. And it's a credit to a lot of people, but it starts at home.
He always says the right thing.
I love it.
Oh, right.
He gives credit to his parents, Rick and Sandra, like what they did with him, raising him. Everything you do has to be legit.
Give a little shout out to Coach Wright.
Yeah, well, always, too. Again, the Villanova stuff. Look, they brought in a guy who had a winning pedigree as a champion in college.
Twice.
And then they brought in some of his teammates who were champions. And that kind of culture permeated a locker room. And everyone else, when your leader is selfless, how can no one else in the room be selfless, too? And that is why they have reached this point where they are right now as a team.
Yeah, and what they're doing right now, and you can smell like they know how to get to the finish line and get this done. They've been there before in college. Like, they've had a lot of success in the playoffs here. So you can see this team is not satisfied with where they are right now, and they know they have a lot of work to do, and they're going to continue to just, embrace the process of trying to get that championship that's eluded New York for a long time.
That's what they're thinking right now. We didn't come this far to come this far.
Right.
Yeah. Knicks never trail tonight.
And there's a look in their eye right now. I mean, even in the post-game press conference, you can just see it. There's a mentality, there's a look that they have in their eye. And like you said, this is about the finish line.
And they also have a
really
coaching staff and Mike Brown that's been there. He knows how to get it done. He's been an
deserves
assistant.
a lot of credit for where this is at right now. A lot.
And he's even as a head coach, he's gotten pretty far in the playoffs.
Well, he's made the finals as a head coach.
Yeah.
Lost with the Cavs, but got there.
Right. So, like, he knows how to get it done, too. So this locker room is assembled in a good way. It's not over. It's not done. No. You can't, count your chips until you get it done. But this team is definitely built to be a champion.
They're doing an amazing job of not getting too high.
Like I said, because their mentality
is
we didn't...
anti-Bill Pidto.
Don't do it, Wally.
Pidto.
Leave him alone, would you?
I'm like,
Bill, take it home.
Hey, man, I'm level.
Evil.
Even Steven. Not really. Not really.
Monday night, everybody.
Yeah. Knicks win it, 121 to 108. We'll wrap things up after this. So the Knicks beat the Cavs 121 to 108, beating Donovan Mitchell. Jalen Brunson went for 30. We'll see him Monday night. Hour-long pregame show beginning at 7, games at 8. Extended postgame coverage as always after the game. Knicks one win away from making the NBA Finals for the first time since 1999. They're on the verge. Join us Monday. Have a great Sunday. Knicks try to close it out. Coming up. Want more than just a post-game show? Link your eligible TV subscription to stream Knicks games free or subscribe today in the Gotham Sports app. Just go to gothamsports.tv to learn more.